Hey, what's up, Tom? How the hell is it upcoming if it's on right now? Oh. Update, whatever the fuck. I'm not getting that. What's wrong with these motherfuckers? No.
Now watch time and space rock a great matriarch, whether it's day or dark, creates the spark, ways the heart as I sun ray my art, her make the patriarch. Most social media saviors I fix, marks once we make knowledge one is when time and space rock. The great matriarch, whether it's day or dark, creates the spark, ways the heart as I sun ray my art, her make the patriarch. Most social media saviors I fix, marks once we make knowledge one is when the run and base rock. I rose up, took a shower, purified my arc field, took copper for a wall to ensure my chlorophyll is pumping. Done some curls for sure, I floored to build solid foundation. My crown chakra core and heel, pound the pavement. Sacred ground, freedom I stand for. Free all political prisoners of war, man or woman and child. Rid the land of all foreign and alien entities. I decree this morning, send them back to whence they came. Is the peace laugh or war cry, whatever the relevant name of each path, simple, highest form, spiritualities, how you teach math, a humble beast is still a beast. Now feel the peace wrath, rain fire upon them, and the internet forms, sigils, emojis, and the avatars that wore them. Destroy this de facto government and its forums, establish Big Ma's house so she may restore him. The great matriarch, whether it's day or dark, creates the spark, ways the heart as I sun ray my art, her made the patriarch. Most social media saviors I fix, marks once we make knowledge born is when time and space rock. The great matriarch, whether it's day or dark, creates the spark, ways the heart as I sun ray my art, her made the patriarch. Most social media saviors I fix, marks once we make knowledge born is when run and base rock. The next host, note to self, quit playing, hit the gas. This shaft is called my turn, take the risk and spaz. Most of them got vaccinated with chips in their ass, plus rappers sacrificing each other for grips in their cash. Session, watch videos without the subliminals, addictive programming weirdo, strong menstrual shows. The land's contaminated, fruits and vegetables, black minerals, the water and skies I fry. Liquid chemicals, technology got me here in front of my desktop, perusing these beats and whatnot for my best option, contemplating which bar will expire to unlock the minds that are stuck within an Xbox. Off the chart, I continue to climb, watching the rest flop like carp fishing, 100% fresh shark water. I'm on the front line, ex-martial spot. I shine because of her, for she's the best sport. The great matriarch, whether it's day or dark, creates the spark, ways the heart as I sun ray my art, her make the patriarch. Most social media saviors I fix, marks once we make knowledge born is when time and space rock. The great matriarch, whether it's day or dark, creates the spark, ways the heart as I sun ray my art, her make the patriarch. Most social media saviors I fix, marks once we make knowledge born is when the run and base drops. All praises to the Most High. All praises to the great matriarch. Honor and respect to our ancestors. Draw. You've always had a father. The off of your flow. For show fire starter. The cause of your glow. But the trail I've blazed, I pray you turn from it. The hell I've raised, I pray you don't run from it. The work I put in, I pray that you learn from it. The mistakes I've made, I pray that you learn from it. As you watch me in the image, look up and look taller. From the suffering from the sound cloud. You sound like me, the crown's proud. But unlike me, shut you hadn't turned down how the smoke screen, which surrounds you. Sound your sound, not shout out loud. Your genius to us down the crown, my beloved. You scintillate profusely, you my beloved. You resent fate foolishly, you my beloved. You ventilate truthfully, you my beloved. Son, and who I'm well pleased. Okay, Shelly, your vision is reaching that my descending when filming your intuition extends the lenses felt when your cinematographic flashes of your scripted class get your inner magic dramatic action mixed with vivid aspects mastered surpasses the average class stretches the facet through the scope of life's Kodak you see classic the question you have is mathematics please ask it son earth's a classroom so put your hand up and last boom, you already knew the answer. I pray to God to give me another chance for the love of my life, my wife, just a romance. In the misconception, no time, but second guessing is destined. You knew who was who through a reflection that she showed you of me many years ago. Special features presentation appears to show you my beloved. You scintillate profusely, you my beloved. You resent fate foolishly, you my beloved. Do ventilate truthfully, you my beloved. Son, in whom I'm well pleased. Now Samuel, I am your fails to show that the signal is a scramble or be programmable. From a little cub to a lion, not of my bloodline. Don't give a damn, don't love you. As if you was mine, I'll be the first. Forgive me for my absence. The most I sat me down to learn patience through abstinence. Amongst other lessons, perfect my craft
Son,
talents. Balance
it's good, but stuff in the sky is bad. It has a little effect, not too much, but it has a little effect on me. I don't want to admit to it, but it does. Even toxins and poisons have an effect on me for a little while. Like I said, stupidity is going to be stupid. You scintillate profusely, you my beloved. You resent fate foolishly, you my beloved. You ventilate truthfully, you my beloved. Sons in whom I'm well pleased. Oh, look at them. Oh, that's my little buddy.
In my music, and a lot of music, it's only talking about the suppressed rising. I mean, the oppressed rising.
My little buddy. No wonder he kept looking back.
That's what
I see you. I see you.
Rising up against the oppressor.
I see you.
Scared of the oppressors.
And look, keep away from those worthless ass, nasty, old ass, decrepit Bolsheviks, man. So you're not a Bolshevik. Those two pieces of shit are. Yeah, that's what's up. That's my buddy. Oh, she is so chic. Oh, she is so beautiful. That's about to get tossed up.
Execution style too late for the apologetic claim. You rapped in a coca flame, my God, it's overdue. Your time is in the end. I'm John silent without sin. He put me on the planet with
I got my German leather, you know.
Some persons attached in the war zone. Revolution can start in the Arizona. I'm a messenger popping like Jericho. Backed by the honor who sits at the pinnacle. Who judges the hypocritical, cynical, with the wonderful simple. My thinking is critical. I'll just ventilate of the actions of the protective service. Quick to pull the Glock blast, the cutest. Don't take any type of skill. I'm ill of all citizens who haven't took a stand. Our meals too late when the cats get pills. Don't believe a GC type. Ruin hits close to home. You gotta act the bone, but it got the dome when it's on the zone. All red on my vision through sight. It's gonna be killed whenever I fight. I'm above, I've been given the right. So you better be ready to ride tonight. On the way to the dawn daylight. We gon' rid them out, so gon' pass the kite. 3 pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, mean no surrender. 3 pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, mean no surrender. 3 pound pressure, no weight lesser. your pussy. Make no surrender.
This world is such a, and when I say this world, I mean it. I don't mean in an ideal sense. I mean in every day, every little thing you do. It's such a, gimme, gimme, gimme. Everybody back off. You know, everybody's like, you taught that from school, everywhere. Big business. You want to be successful? You want to be like Trump? Gimme, gimme, gimme. Push, 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 push. Step, step, step. Crush, crush, crush. That's how it all is. And it's like, nobody ever stopped.
I gotta get a little heat up in here, y'all. I'm a little chilly. A little chilly. I don't like this L-arginine. It's not good. It smells not good. Let's get rid of ammonia. This is their brand of L-arginine, and it kind of sucks. GNC, you have fucked the pooch. I got thrown away. What's going on, y'all? Yeah. So, how y'all doing today? Playing. All right, let me see if it's doing a little what you call it here. I'm turning it up so I can see.
Playing.
Okay, it is. Okay, cool. All right, turn it down. What's happening, people? What's going on? Millennia, what's up, mama? Well, that is to be concerned of. My plan will be still be necessary. It's gonna be like after Rome again. Oh boy. All right, let's not hit no negative stuff. I'm gonna read something to y'all. All right, I won't hit no negative. If anybody's gonna say, "Hey, Olmec, what's up, beloved Thom, Millennial, love you guys." If anybody will speak something about negativity, it's gonna be me, and you're gonna learn something from it. Right, because y'all stay in the bastion of negativity. And trust me, I already know. You know, I study people. I study what you write, I watch your posts, and I know certain people, okay? So I know what I'm saying. I don't have to prove it or convince you. There's gonna be anybody's negativity. Most time when I say negative things, it's an act. Big difference. You should be able to go back in your resources and see it for what it is. So I go to this Chinese restaurant that I go to, Red Road. This little guy, this Chinese guy, he don't really speak English. And I have people that share information with me. A lot of you is kind of hard to gather this. But every time I go there, the first time I went, magnificent. The second time, magnificent. Third and fourth, things were questionable. One time I went there and waited for some food, and it was a different guy back there. And the one that usually be cooking who don't speak English, he's sitting there eating chicken feet. So I get up and depart myself from, no, let's just get up and move. It's not, you know, as if I'm looking at something or whatever. But every time he chefs, he's kind of looking at stuff. So I'm going to let her know that I think that it's possible that you have an individual, unbeknownst to you, overreaching, because you got to remember that every land they went to, it's passed down through certain generations. They were to kill the original people of the land or force them out. This is the way, as you've literally watched. Now, sadly, just like there are Palestinians who consider themselves Jews, who side with the Jews to fight and kill their own people, You got niggas here and pale skins and everybody do the same thing against each other. It's a very sick, sad scene. Yet, it's in the whispers of the ethers of time, or echoes of time, it's a reality. Every time, and yesterday I went and got something. I got my chicken from my place where I always get it. My good brother of mine, chicken's phenomenal. But I went and got some egg fried rice and some steamed vegetables. The moment after I ate them, everything started going askew. I was like, wait a minute. So I called and I let her know that, I called from a different phone, that I'm going to have a small conversation with her about maybe somebody up in there that's doing something against certain melanated people on a perception of thinking that either they're this or that. And she was like, okay. I says, don't worry. I probably won't be eating at your restaurant no time soon until you remedy this. Not that I can't. I just get tired of staving off toxins and poisons because my body goes right into effect of dealing with it. And I don't like it because unlike most people, it may take a little while and unbeknownst to them, they think it's a cold, this, that, and other. My body gets right at it. Like I told you, my wife had full-blown AIDS, and I'm talking about the kind you can catch. I just couldn't catch it. And they want to do blood work, and they want to, they always want to figure out what it is about some of us where we can't get it. I didn't know. So yeah, I could have been a Vic. Well, I don't think I did. No. Anyway, and I dated a woman in New York because liberal woman, something wrong with you people. Something is really, really wrong with you. It's disturbing. And I dated her. I used to wrap up until I realized and learned that condoms don't stop nothing. They're porous and things get in there, which is a proof right now you can see in Georgia and Texas and a few other places. And she's not here no longer. So they were trying to figure out how is it I can't catch it. But I got scoliosis, which is from childhood. Bell's palsy, which attacked, I guess, a certain German part of my family. And a very strong Y chromosome, per se. And my body does recoup and repair, which for some reason is kind of slow right now. My vision was getting better, so they did something in the sky. I can tell with that too. Now, just because I'm speaking on it doesn't mean that it's the same for everybody. I'm just aware. But at the same time, I worked out yesterday, and I hadn't worked out for 7-8 days. And I worked out hard. I got up under 225 and repped it, 15, 16 times. I did Roman chair because I want to strengthen my back, because my back is just, back is jacked up. Wrist killed me, I don't lean on that, I'm saying it. I didn't do no checks, no pec deck flies. I did 45 and 50, as I said yesterday, 45 and 50 pound dumbbell flies on the flat bench. I didn't get on the machine. I like to split my bench up and my back workouts up into 3 different days. But also realized that I was very tired, and it's not a natural tired. And I was wondering, I know it's not aluminum, I know it's not the varium, all the things that they're spraying, it's something else. So, usually I check my EMF emitter. I have a couple of things from the military I look at, and then I turn off all my phones, except for one last night. I left one on, I wanted to see something. Yeah, I do that to myself. I guess you call it experimentation, to see. But anyway, I slept great. I got up. It was cold as frick. I didn't put the heater on or nothing like that. I just enjoyed the cold. Got down to my skivvies and my tank top, bare feet, looking at what I was going to wear, and it was very, very cold. I like it. Got dressed. So let me get my day started. And I started addressing what I felt. Not to increases, you know, its strength or whatever, just to acknowledge, well, I acknowledge it's there, but to see what it is. Then I said, okay, that's what may be, and I threw it off. You never lay on your left side when you sleep, man. You lay on your right side. Women too, I think. It's not good to have all that pressure and fluids into your liver like that. It's best to lay on the left side or on your back. So what I did was I laid on my right side on the liver, and I laid on my stomach. I know, don't do that, Red. Anyway, I'm going to read something from Eckhart Tolle, Power of Now, that may illuminate something. I saw the movie Avatar. That's nothing but a history about us in a very benign way. And they always whitewash everything. And then you see the little sea kids with the afros and dreads. It is. I'm not going to get into the stories of how I know it is. It just is. If you want to go Atlantis and all the other stuff, you have no idea. Okay? But regardless of that, you don't need to search all through that. We have enough people putting all kind of misinformation, some information, real information. It's like Cure Me on Me and dropping all of them. We give something that's beneficial because I've researched everybody that's putting out information. And with a plausible cause. More or less for you to know who you are. Because that's the benefit of knowledge, to know where you came from, to know where you're at, and then maybe come up with a rationale of why. But I want to read this. And I didn't want you to get caught up into the poison and this, that, and the other and all that. I just want you to realize that though it may be possible, it may not be. Anybody can deny, as you know, and lie. Doesn't mean that you got to make this sacrilege and get on your knees and hands and crawl 100 miles to get to a place and go, no. It's just saying that it's very plausible that she should pay attention, because I never feel that way until after I eat from there for the 5th time. I had to make sure. Even when I was in there ordering it, I was looking and she was all happy. I was like, hey, hands, blah, blah, blah. Then there he is, looking. Chef. And I'm watching everything. I'm walking on the other side. I'm watching him. But I'm not keying in. I'm allowing. That's how stupid they are. Certain individuals. Okay? Just wanted to give that to you. Don't want you to be all like in there. Why does he talk about, because some people are pretty ignorant. They don't know and never meant to know. You know what I'm saying? Let me get my medicine. Anyway, let me go ahead and read this to you. Okay? And, well, that is to be, my plan was still, okay, I'm saying. Oh, you had a retard come in with the Morgan Freeman, huh? Yeah, you can't help these. Hey, don't say whether it's bot or whatever. Just let the idiot be there and enjoy their little moment. Okay? Hey, Righteous T, what's up? What's up? No, you get angry for frustrated. Good. It seems like the emotional outburst of ignorance has no more meaning. Outstanding, dog. Outstanding. But I see where you're coming from too, millennial. Trust me. Absolutely. I agree. Careful. The younger folks have not learned emotional control. No, they haven't. Trust me. I don't have these issues, Dom. I don't engage with people. No, she doesn't. Right. Wetlands refuse to testify in Epstein inquiry. Of course not. They don't murdered more people than I think than friggin' Stalin. Jason, I think them people were some serial killers to me. Avoid and evade. I get you, Mo. It's gonna be like that. Oh yeah. Anyway, I want to go ahead and read this, and it's beyond. I think some of you might find this beneficial. Whew, nice and warm. My hands were kind of cold. I took a B vitamin, which I haven't taken one in a while. Let's go ahead. turn that off. I'm gonna let it go for a minute. I'll let shut off itself. Anyway, beyond what the fuck you looking at, man? All in my face. At least you can wave and say hi, because I'll get out and straighten you out real quick, boy. Beyond happiness and unhappiness, he's a homosexual bodybuilder or whatever, that's what he look like. Beyond happiness and unhappiness, there is peace. No, I do that because I like pleasurable, peaceful people who don't have a problem. Even if they're actors, it doesn't bother me. I don't care. But Cali brought a whole lot of freaking weirdos that everybody talks about, from San Fran, this, that, and other. And a lot of these people, they have partaken in crap they should not have, because otherwise they wouldn't be here or have the fiat they have. It's common sense, and most people are very aware who they are. I don't really care. Yet they better be very fucking respectful, all right? Because I do have the potential to get out and correct their fallacy. Oh, excuse me, I didn't. Oh, shut that shit up, bro. I just told you what you need to hear. All right, you have a good day. I don't get caught up in the fancy pants stuff or all this other goofy stuff. You know, be to your disease. Don't care. Don't be all in my face like you got it like that, because my shades showing you that you're messed up. Anyway, beyond happiness and unhappiness, there is peace. The higher good, beyond good and bad. Hey, what's going on, Voodoo Child? What's happening? What's going on, beloved? Really pay attention, okay? Is there a difference between happiness and inner peace? Well, yes. Happiness depends on conditions being perceived. Conditions being perceived. You know what that means, right? As positive. Inner peace does not. So inner peace is your own, all right? It's what you. I mean, you got people who like to cut people's chests open and bite into their lungs and their heart, and the perception is other, right? But if they're doing that, whether it's a show or whatever, they've already been contrite. They've already found this inner peace with doing it. It doesn't mean it's peaceful and all that, whatever you think peaceful is, okay? Anyway, is it not possible to attract only positive conditions into our life? Well, you know, they have this little goofy saying that if you want to be a millionaire, be around millionaires or be in those circles. But you know, you gotta put on the fancy pants, you gotta get your hair doctored up, you gotta do all in that circle. Yeah, sad case. Anyway, so again, is it not possible to attract only positive conditions into your life? You already know, right? Let's see. If our attitude and our thinking are always positive, we would manifest only positive events and situations, wouldn't we? Well, do you truly know what is positive? Do you really know what is positive? And what is negative? Do you know what negativity or negates negativity? Could everything, remember, the world is backwards, reversed, upside down, and inverted? Could everything we find to be positive? We're not talking about death. Let's put that aside for a second. We're talking about current events, how we think. I'm around a lot of young guys right at work. And I'm talking about the fact I've been stabbed, this was stabbing, shot, da-da-da. And they're like, you know, Julie, and they're, But they have in no way, shape, or form, even together, been where I've been through what I have, and this is not ego or qualification. It's just the mindset when you're youth. Before I got to all the crap that I wish I would never have went through, I felt like the world was mine and everything, nothing was going to happen. Every time I'd wake up, or rise, come out of my slumber. Every event, every day, every week, every month, by the definition of that time, the time that you exist in. I never knew what was going to happen because I was always looking beyond the moment, the present, and my presence. I was always outside and not even looking in to make the corrections based on a correlation of what's relevant and what isn't. So what negates negativity or positivity versus negativity? But if your mind, if you don't know what it is, and that's what the parent, I hate that word. That's what your madre and padre, that's what they're supposed to nurture you with. Your older siblings, which you call your mother and father. Oh yeah, and you may be a few hundred years older than them. Regardless of all that, that's another tantra type thing. Okay, on this venue of return, you must be nurtured to know the difference. And that's not always the case, is it? Because we may accept Ed Geins, what he went through. Did that woman that was in the bar, and that was his biggest, gravest mistake. And then they made Chainsaw Massacre and all the other. But regardless of that, his perception, it was positive. Even though he knew it was negative, it was positive for the outcome of what he was seeking. But it was negative in the whole picture of things based on societal norms and qualms and what shouldn't be. So again, do you truly know what is positive and what is negative? If you did, I wouldn't be reading your comments. Do you have the total picture now? Anyway, there have been many people for whom limitation, failure, loss, illness, or pain in whatever form turned out to be their greatest teacher. We all know this. It taught them to let go of false self-images, okay, and superficial ego-dictated goals and desires. Man, I'm gonna hit that crack rock, man. I'm still chasing it. That's what they tell me, so I'm chasing it. Or I'm gonna hit that meth pipe and get the cloud. And the delusion of what's happening. Or I'm gonna drink that whole fifth and do a funnel, right? And black out. And everybody tell me what I did the next day. Or I'm gonna smoke weed, even though it's not medicinal no more, until my tolerance is so high, I could drive and skip thing, but it's still some effect, right? We find that to be something positive, chasing something, but it's not. It negates negativity all the way around, right? And in that pain and suffering, we get to a point where we get tired of all that, right? I got tired of drinking. I mean, I'll still have a glass of wine, but I don't like to drink. All the videos that saw me with ganja and tea drinking, I was doing that because they're youth, and it was to have fun, to reach another part and watch them, to study them. Okay? They say their feelings how to react to certain things. I never flip-flop. I never changed. I haven't changed now. I'm still the same. I don't run and cut. And I don't none of that. I can go and have whatever I choose or want. I don't have to manifest it. So, in that, right, that false self-image and that superficial ego-dictated, goals and desires, I mean, these are the things that shouldn't exist. But sadly, they do in this time. That's how they keep everybody so fractured and broken. It gave them depth, humility, and compassion. When you realize all those things are negative, you start realizing when you remove yourself from them, you start building up. Well, you got to work on yourself. If you start working on yourself, then you might not get all those fundamental things, and you might fall back into those vices. Okay? Now, whenever anything negative happens to you, there is a deep lesson concealed within it. Although you may not see it at the time, obviously so, because you're not supposed to be doing whatever you're doing, or you shouldn't be in that position, or you shouldn't be in that place. I know some things are uneventful, right? Unavoidable and uneventful. I know that you could be walking from Walmart to your car, touch the door handle, and next you know you're dizzy, and then somebody snatch you in the back of a damn minivan with blacked out windows. And next thing you know, you're being all kind of ways, sideways or Sunday, hoping that God or somebody comes for you, but you give up hope, and next thing you know, you're two in the back of the head in a hole somewhere, sadly. I know that some guys go to a place, a trap house, and it's all to have fun. You ain't done nobody wrong. Somebody decided that day that they wanted to do something more negative, and you're in the closet, in the floor. Or you go somewhere where you probably shouldn't be, uneventful, and a plane crashes and you happen to be on that floor. There's so many things, so many variables, right? So that's outside of that. But what we can control, all right? I know someone say, well, maybe I just don't get out of bed. No, you don't learn nothing like that. Although you may not see it at the time, right? Even a brief illness or an accident can show you what is real and unreal in your life. What ultimately matters and what doesn't, right? Seen from a higher perspective, conditions are always positive. To be more precise, they are neither positive nor negative. To be more precise, they are neither positive nor negative. Okay? They are as they are. Okay? And when you live in complete acceptance of what it is, or what is, which is the only sane way to live, there is no good or bad. Okay? In your life anymore. You detract, you remove that. Kind of millennial kind of mentioned that. Okay? There is only a higher good. Because you want better, you want to be more resilient. So you have to learn. And that, in order to go through all the things to get the humility and all that other stuff that's good, you have to allow whatever. Allow negative things. They're going to be there. It is what it is. And you don't have to see it for what that it's negative or good. You just know that that's not what you want to partake in. Okay? Okay, anyway. Seen from the perspective of the mind, all right, so which includes the bad. So there is only a higher good, which includes the bad, right? Seen from the perspective of the mind. However, which is the compartmentalization of all the different things you know, or hence you think you know, right? However, there's good, bad, like, dislike, love, hate. Hence, in the book of Genesis, it is said that Adam and Eve were no longer allowed to dwell in paradise, a good place, when they ate of the tree of the knowledge. This sounds to me like denial and self-deception. When something dreadful happens to me or someone close to me, accident, illness, pain of some kind, or death, I can pretend that it isn't bad. Pretend. But the fact remains that it is bad. So why deny it? Well, you're not pretending anything. It's crazy. You are allowing it to be as it is. That's all. This allowing to be takes you beyond the mind with its resistance patterns that create the positive, negative polarities. It creates this one way or the other. You're going to choose a side. Okay? It is an essential aspect of forgiveness. Forgiveness, of the present is even more important than forgiveness of the past, because you got to move forward, right? You're always moving forward. We're continuously moving forward in our perception of in that direction. You know what I mean? Right. Anyway, if you forgive every moment, allow it to be as it is, and then there will be no accumulation of resentment that needs to be forgiven at some latter time. Remember they're always saying, man, you got to forgive yourself first before you forgive others. Man, I already done the dumb shit. I want to move away from it. So moving away from it means that I have this entitlement that I got to keep addressing the past of it. Man, that's how you stay fucked up. That excuse my language. There's no fixing that. That's how you stay muffed up. There's no fixing that. That has happened. It's done. And if anybody dwells there, they are the problem. If I choose to be with you and you did something, and like I told you, my wife who cheated, that was my wife. I'd have been, based on her ideology of Christianity and me knowing otherwise, I'd have been with her. She had dick up in her before I met her. Like, I'm gonna be like worried about what dick was in her. Like, what kind of mentality, what kind of shit is that? I don't know who been licking on her booty or whatever. That's not my, I don't have this contrite. I don't get all into that. That's my wife, man. I made babies with her. I love her regardless. I had my pain of my child's death. I had the fact that I knew she cheated. I had to feel all these things that I could overcome.
But some people don't really believe in what they say through sickness and health, good and bad. Some people are full of themselves. And then living in a neighborhood where there's crack and the parents did coke and sold all the house when she was a baby and had to go back in the military. All that knowledge, I was like, man, I ain't parlaying with this shit no more. I was like, man, maybe I need to become a drug dealer again, you know? And I went out and met a few people I knew, and I was awesome, and I was getting ready to sell crack. I was going to sell it to the house with the family first, because I get deviant like that. And then I realized that's not what I wanted to do, and I knew I had to go away. I was like, no, you know what? That's going to cause a lot more pain and hardship. I was like, I had to get away from this shit, you know? I had to walk my velvet road, my yellow brick road, right? I had to find out. I accepted everything that happened, but there was pain. I have to grow and nurture myself. It would have been beautiful to have her and nurture it with me and get to the place where it was, you know, the son and daughter have the mommy and daddy they're supposed to have and do all the things instead of all that comes with a person's aptitude that I don't have to bend on or bend for or beat up on. All right. So anyway, then there will be no accumulation of resentment that needs to be forgiven at some later time. All right. Remember that we are not talking about happiness here. For example, when a loved one has just died or you feel your own death approaching, you cannot be happy. It is impossible. Well, based on the perception of what happiness is. But you can be at peace. You can accept it. There may be sadness and tears, but provided that you have relinquished resistance underneath the sadness, you will feel a deep serenity, a stillness, a calm, a sacred presence. This is the emanation of being. This is inner peace and the good that has no opposite. What if it is a situation that I can do something about? How can I allow it to be and change it at the same time? Well, do what you have to do. All right. Let me say that. All right. Now, in the meantime, accept what is, since mind and resistance are synonymous. Acceptance immediately frees you from mind dominance and thus reconnects. Because you know how we keep creating something. Remember, we went through that, right? You know how to create that. To build on, to keep going at. Come on, there's no peace in that. All right. All right. So free you from mind dominance and thus reconnects you with being. As a result, the usual ego motivations for doing, fear, listen to this. This is the usual ego motivations, okay, for doing, fear, greed, control, defending, or feeding the false sense of self. Anyone relate? You know how it is when we're in a relationship and we're going to hold on this, that, and we're afraid of this and we're that. We never get to actually grow because we're holding on to something where it could be pleasurable. It could be pleasure. It could be a number of things. But it's all bullshit. Anyway, we'll cease to operate. And intelligence, much greater than the mind, is now in charge. And so a different quality of consciousness will flow into your doing. Accept whatever comes to you woven in the pattern of your destiny for what could more aptly fit your needs. This was written 2,000 years ago by Marcus Aurelius, one of those exceedingly rare humans who possessed worldly power as well as wisdom, and he was a Negro. He was a nigger. He wasn't some pale skin, whitewashed history, so stop believing that lie, my beloved people. It seems that most people need to experience a great deal of suffering before they will relinquish resistance and accept, and before they will forgive. As soon as they do, one of the greatest miracles happens, the awakening of being consciousness through what appears as evil. You know, fluoridation, we lean on what they're doing, the chemicals, the metals, the spraying and all that. Man, man, move beyond that. Vibrate high, we're always telling one another, right? Right? It seems that most people need to experience a great deal of suffering before they will relinquish resistance and accept before they will forgive. As soon as they do, one of the greatest miracles happens, the waking of being consciousness to what appears as evil. What appears as evil. The transmutation of suffering into inner peace, the ultimate effect of all the evil and suffering in the world, is that it will force humans into realizing who they are by name and form. Thus, what we perceive, because many people say I am more than my name and how you conceptualize when you look at me, or you perceive me when you see me, as evil from our limited perspective is actually part of the higher good that has no opposite. This, however, does not become true for you except through forgiveness. Until that happens, evil has not been redeemed and therefore remains evil. And it goes on and on and on. I think you get the basic concept and understanding there. Okay? But though forgiveness, which essentially means recognizing the insubstantiality of the past and allowing the present moment to be as it is, the miracle of transformation happens not only within, but also without it, as if it never existed. Okay? A silent space of intense presence arises both in you and around you. Whoever or whatever enters that field of consciousness will be affected by it, sometimes visibly and immediately, sometimes at deeper levels with invisible changes appearing at a later time. You dissolve, discord, heal pain, dispel unconsciousness without doing anything, simply by being and holding that frequency of intense presence. I am fucking here. Even if I wasn't here, I am fucking here. Not looping around damn sun. Anyway. As a in and out, in and out. Don't you see yourself as this big battery? What do you think keeps the sun moving like that? What do you think keeps the sun so bright and so powerful? That's you, motherfuckers. Well, let's see. It's good to see you too, bro. Anyway, I hope that was entertaining. I hope you enjoyed that. I'm going to sign off. I'm going to get ready to head over here because I got to work today and I got to get past this body. And maybe at lunchtime I'll go live, all right? And chat a little more about what's going on, We'll see. You know what I'm saying? I had my protein. And it was good with hemp seeds, guineo, cinnamon. Well, you watch me make it. All right. Let me get over here and get my work clothes together. And I'll see you guys a little later. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate the donations if you donated or whatever. And let me shut this down right here. All right. Okay. Chat with you guys later. Appreciate that, though. Appreciate it, though. Buddha, child, and everyone else. Y'all have a grand day.